I'm a person with belief. I believe I need to fulfill my mission in this life with honesty and integrity. I believe what goes around comes around, so if you do bad things will be done to you. But karma is not the reason why I try to be good. I just feel if everyone acts with good intentions, the world will be a better place. Some people can't tell the difference between religion and belief. I respect all religion, but I think the true meaning of faith is the light inside of you. It may be a light ignited by our Creator, but you are the one who has to keep the fire going. But keeping a pure heart is hard to do in a society like this. Some of us can walk on a straight path, but some others need help. That's when religious belief can guide lost souls. Do you remember the days when travel was allowed? Of course. I was on a cruise 2 months ago. Well, let's turn the time further back to the pre-smartphone era, when you needed a guide when you first visited a foreign land. Well, since most of us knew little beyond the boundary of Earth, we need guides on spiritual matters. Guides like priests and nuns, guides who gave up their earthly possessions to their secret post. Giving up earthly possessions? That's a big job requirement even for someone with little earthly possessions like me. For that, I usually hold high respect for clergy. Although like every job, you have high achievers and losers. I imagine the Catholic Church has suffered greatly during recent years when news of the priest that preyed upon innocent children became public. While the Pope, the spiritual leader of the world's 1.3 billion Catholic Christians, and the leader of the city-state Vatican, seem powerless to right the wrongs done to many of the victims. Some people wonder what will happen to the Vatican. Actually, Arnold Wyon, a Benedictine monk, published Prophecy of the Popes in 1595. It gave detailed descriptions of popes before the book was published in 1590, and vague poem-like descriptions of popes that would follow. Most historians call it a fabrication, but when modern-day popes elected somehow fulfilled all or part of the prophecy, people have come to wonder if this prophecy is for real. There are articles about how Pope John Paul II and Benedict XVI matches the prediction. The prophecy calls Benedict's successor, Peter the Roman, as the last pope. It is hard to link the Argentinian-born pope to Peter of Rome, but since he is the Bishop of Rome, and he picked his name Francis in honor of St. Francis of Assisi, St. Francis's father is named Peter. So people call Pope Francis another fulfillment of the Pope prophecy. And what did the predictions say? Peter the Roman, who will pasture his sheep in many tribulations. And when these things are finished, the city of 7 hills, i.e. Rome, will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people. The end. So the predictions said the Vatican will be destroyed when Rome is destroyed. Did Nostradamus say the same thing? In Century 3, Quatrain 19, quote, "In Lucca it will come to rain blood and milk, shortly before a change of praetor, but plague and war, famine and drought will be made visible, far away where their prince and rector will die." The prediction starts by the mentioning of Lucca, which is another Italian town. Praetor is a under-council, which I think is to tell us of some government officials that will be swiftly blamed by the guilt of their subordinates. I believe this will be seen all over the world. The central government can accuse the local government for not doing enough. The locals can blame the federals for not sending aid. And the result is what Nostradamus said in line 3. Great plague and war, famine and drought will be made visible. What will be visible? Human weakness, the nature of protecting only one's interest. And this also may lead to the collapse of two cornerstones of our society, authority and religion. Prince is the symbol of class and rights, while praetor is a man of God. When you see no future, having no money, getting no help from the government you pay tax to, and receive no relief from the divine, what do you think will happen next? The collapse of our society, order, morale, and faith. After predicting the fall of religion, Nostradamus continued to talk about the fall of the Vatican. In Century 3, Quatrain 84, quote, "The great city will be thoroughly desolated. Of the inhabitants, not a single one will remain there. Wall, sex, temple, and virgin violated. Through sword, fire, plague, cannon, people will die." To understand this prediction, we must first figure out where the great city is. Many cities consider themselves great, but the Vatican is recognized by most as the great city. And now it is in the center of the worst modern-day virus outbreak. The Pope resides in the Apostolic Palace in the Vatican, where the Virgin Maria is worshipped. Line 3, called Wall, Sex Temple, and Virgin Violated. Please note that the Vatican is the only country surrounded by walls. The city-state is centered at the temple, where the Virgin Maria is. If the city becomes desolated during the plague, not only people will be violated, many will die. And don't forget the Vatican's flag has two swords in it, which is stated in line 4 with the word fire and plague. This haunting prophecy showed what may happen to the Vatican in the near future. If it does happen, it would fulfill not only Nostradamus' prophecy, but also the Pope prophecy. This is Ken Peters. Thank you for watching.